This is my intro music. Welcome to the video. I hope you like it lots, so don't forget to subscribe and click the thumbs up button. Now let's react.
Hey, hi, hello there, and welcome to another episode of An Anthropologist Watches Quirky Love Rosee, and I know I just did one of these yesterday, but Quirky got onto her stories, and she did a, 15-minute ramble, about events. It was just a 15-minute ramble. And the more I watched it, the more irritated I got. So she kind of covers a lot of topics, and the more I watch it, the more irritated I get. So props to you, Rosie. You ticked me off again. I don't know why. I don't know why I let it get to me, but I do. I really should be drinking from my Fat Bitch Factory mug because that's like my dedicated Rosie mug, but I don't have it. So we're drinking from this one today, and because it's tea time and we're classy. But something I do want to say, we're going to be watching this this cut down version, or this clipped together version. I think I don't know who exactly it's from. It says HRH and Stepmom 420. I don't know which one of them it's from, but I think it's from both of them combined. And we are going to be playing with Pomegranate from OG Slimes. If the slime noises are too much for you guys, let me know, and I will do my best to not use them again. But they are nice for me because it keeps me calm. But last time we had box of chocolates. This one is the pomegranate one, and I like this one. It's my favorite. Anyway, so this one is and I'll link it down below. Don't get me wrong. These Stepmom 420 was the person who was documenting all of Rosie's Patreons when Rosie was still doing her Patreon, and they were like member only kind of stuff. So Stepmom 420 was the one who was archiving Rosie's Patreon. I don't know who HRH is, so this is not an endorsement for either of the two of them, but it's not a not endorsement for either of the two of them. The reason I am using this one is because I like the way it's cut together. I like how on one side there's the short, and it has the CC on it, and then there's a close-up of Rosie's face the whole time. So you get to see Rosie's smug face the entire time. And I know I shouldn't be swearing that early in the video, but here we are. And I'll try to bleep that out. But thank you to everybody who's been supporting the channel. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. You guys rock. Thank you to everybody who's going to hit the thumbs up button. Yeah, let's get into this because I know this one's going to take me a minute to record, and then I'm going to want to edit it. And I'm going to try to do this as quick as possible to get this edited as quick as possible. So there we go. And I played with my makeup today, so don't say anything about it. Anyway. All right. I am going to speed this up a tiny bit. We're going to playback speed it at 125 like normal. I think I've said all the things I need to say, I think. Oh, because I got a lot of things to say. All right. Even my lips are lopsided. All right. Do I need to CC it? I don't think so. Let's go.
Why don't you go dust your brain out?
Hi, Gorls. So Rosie posted like 15 minutes worth of just her yapping on her stories today on Instagram. So I went ahead and cut them all down, sped it up for your viewing pleasure. Also,
okay, so this video, just FYI, this was posted on February 17th. Today is February the 18th. Usually I let these things sit for 24 hours, but since this was Instagram stories and I could watch them somewhere else. Anyway, you guys, like I said, I'm going to link this down below, so go give it a view if you would, please. But also, thank you to HRH and Stepmom 420 for putting this together. I do think it's a really good cut.
she is mad at me for the title of the video last time, so let's watch.
Okay, so I have a temporary tattoo. By the way, this has been on my arm for like a minute. There's a whole thing behind it. I put it on my stream. It's holding up surprisingly well.
This is the one of the fake tattoos that she got from an unknown viewer that she got in the same stream that she got a gift from person who is still yet unnamed. And I stated my reasons for leaving them unnamed. However, if you know, you know. But yeah, so we'll get into that. She brings it back up again. So we'll get into that. But yeah, this is her probably most definitely is AI tattoo that she then spent the rest of her live stream walking back why AI isn't the devil anymore. Because she really, really wants to have these fake tattoos, you guys.
I'm not sure how I feel about the way it looks. I think it's the size. I kind of want to do a test run on one of the bigger ones on my arm. I just did this as like a, let me see what it looks like kind of a thing on my live stream the other day. Mm-hmm. But right now, I wanted to do a quick little like, hey, hi, hello check-in. I've got food on me. Sick. Because I am...
Wait. Did you just take my intro? You did. Hey, hi, hello. Well, hey, hi, hello there to you, too.
I'm constructing one of my favorite things. I'm making a regular sized potato and a tiny potato, sweet potato, in my favorite, like, fully loaded kind of way. If you watch me on YouTube, I used to talk about this all the time, but this is the fully loaded version. So I wanted to just make it on Instagram Live and yap for a second because my personal life is going great and I have things to say. All right, my hair is a little better in this clip. I didn't really fix it before. It is what it is. Okay, so
I was really, really tempted to put my hair up in a poop bun. I'm really, really still tempted to put my hair up in a poop bun because apparently Rosie has graduated into poop bun territory. So we are now fully embracing the poop bun over here in Rosie-Lynn Reed territory. So there we are. All right. So what I have to say about this clip here, keep in mind, you can kind of see here that these are all just kind of running together. Can you see? Yeah, you can see over here that these are all just kind of running together. So this was just a bunch of Instagram stories that she just kind of stitched together. So I guess it's not enough for Rosie to post well, yeah, no. It's not enough for Rosie to put feeder corn on her YouTube channel, which, by the way, is, well, it's not the reason that her channel got demonetized. Her channel got demonetized because she was talking about, I know there's going to be a bunch of blank spots in here. Sorry, guys. Her channel got demonetized because she was talking about her bingo eating and her E followed by the letter D on her channel. But Rosie seems to think it's for any other reason except that. And so she's been deleting a bunch of other things, which, you know, whatever. She probably does need to nuke her whole channel and start from scratch, kind of like Amber Lynn did. But she's not. So here we are. But it's not enough for her to put feeder corn up on her YouTube channel. She now is going to be, I guess, posting it on Instagram. And you'll see what I mean here going forward. And I'm sorry, I'm calling it out for what it is. It's just what it is. And I know she doesn't like it when people say that she's posting that, but what else is it, Rosie? When you call other channels out for producing feeder corn, it's the exact same crap you produce, which is what this is. So how is your content different than their content when you call their content feeder corn? Anyway.
Before, I also like pre-bake these because it just makes my life easier. So I just microwave these, and all I do is add a little garlic powder when I like shush it up and get it a little mushy on the inside. Okay, so hear me out.
So one person is going to eat 2 whole ass sweet potatoes.
First, so this
with stuff on it.
This is like the convenience fucking like grilled chicken. I normally get the Tyson kind, but my brother has like a vendetta against Tyson. I guess Tyson really pissed him off a couple years ago, and he just won't. And he was the one that ran to the grocery store. That's like the key element to the story. So this is the great value version. It's not as good, but like my brother he's very adamant about like Tyson's the devil, and you don't fuck with Tyson. He won't buy Tyson anything.
So what we're hearing is Rosie's brother actually has like standards and morals and ethics, and when he takes a stance against a company for whatever reason that is, he really sticks to his guns. So when Levi, her brother, decides that he's not going to buy Tyson chicken for, I'm not entirely sure, but he clearly has a reason for it. Levi says, I'm not buying Tyson's chicken. Rosie, on the other hand, says, I'm anti-AI. Hey, I want all of these 85,000 AI temporary tattoos, and then I'm going to dance around why it's okay for me to have AI temporary tattoos. But AI is still the devil, you guys, but I still want these AI tattoos. Or, I'm anti-capitalist, you guys. I'm so anti-capitalist. I'm more anti-capitalist than anybody else who's anti-capitalist. But here's my Amazon wish list if you guys want to buy me stuff off of it. And everything on my Amazon wish list is absolute just bullshit crap. Okay, so she's got two whole ass baked sweet potatoes. She's got, I guess, like half, if not an entire chicken breast across both of those baked sweet potatoes. And I'm guessing she's got like half a cup, if not an entire cup of cottage cheese across both of those baked potatoes. And now we're putting mustard on it.
The Scientologist lady did get me into this combo.
That we open up with our teeth, by the way. And now, on top of our half to whole chicken breast and half to whole cup of cottage cheese on our two whole ass sweet potatoes, we're going to put, what is that, like a half cup to at least a half cup of bacon bits?
Oh no, too much bacon. My problems are so hard.
Yeah, Rosie, you really do have like first world problems to the like nth degree. Like you are the epitome of first world problems. You really are. I just hope you realize that.
So then Cholula. This shit is so fire. You can't tell me.
Look at these things. Can you see them? Can you see these things? Look. They're just... Now I realize that I realize the proportions look weird because Rosie is a larger person. This is a normal sized paper plate. Because why use actual plates? She has two whole ass sweet potatoes that she has stuffed with chicken, cottage cheese, covered with bacon bits. I don't care about the Cholula and the mustard. That's gonna be a flavor combo though, man. Like,
am I gonna sit here and lie to you and tell you I'm eating this for health reasons? Fuck no. Am I eating it for delicious reasons? Fuck yes.
yeah, I picked up on you. We're not eating it for health reasons. Don't get me wrong. So in the past, she has made these, and that with the chicken, with the pre-processed chicken, the bacon, the cottage cheese, the Cholula, which has salt, and the mustard, and then salted the potato. Would you like some not salt with your salt lick?
Between the bacon, the cottage cheese, everything in between. I dab it a little bit in the Cholula, a little piece of the potato skin. I like sweet potato skin. I think it's really...
We, of course, have to use our fingers to eat our food. We have a fork. We could have a knife. We could use 2 forks. We could have a spoon. But no, we have to use our fingers. Why? Oh, and we don't have a napkin either. We could have napkins. It's not like they don't exist.
really good. It's also really good for you. I had a vitamin A deficiency, which is why I got into a sweet potato kick a couple years ago.
Because napkins would be weird. We have napkins. We have cloths that we clean the cabinets with. We have a number of objects that we could use to wipe our fingers on. We could rinse them in the sink. We could have a little finger bowl in which we wash our little fingers in as opposed to sucking on them. But no. We have to lick and suck our fingers.
It's been a hot minute since I've had one of these bad boys, and I'm ready.
Okay, yeah. I hate this, by the way.
Bitch.
Uh-huh. What is this? What is this? Do I need to call an ambulance? What is this? Are you going to call the dolphins next?
Make this. You're welcome. Bye.
Okay, here's the thing. You just watched a near, I'm guessing, last time she weighed herself, she was over 500 pounds. So she's encroaching on 600 pounds. You just watched a encroaching on 600 pounds, nearly immobile. She can't walk, really. She's sitting in a rolly chair because she can't stand to cook. I don't mean like she can't stand to cook. I mean, she literally cannot stand up. She cannot stand long enough to cook. So you're watching a near 600 pound immobile woman is irrelevant, make a sweet potato one of the most unhealthy things you've ever seen, telling you, ooh, bitch, you gotta eat this, while she slurps and slops it into her face after sucking on her fingers. is that really, does that do anything for you? And you're like, oh, I should try that. That looks like something I should try. I should try that. That looks delicious. Does that trip your trigger? Are you like, yeah, that's what's missing in my life. A sweet potato loaded with cottage cheese and mustard and salty meats and hot sauce. That's what I've been missing in my life. Because this 600-pound immobile woman who has eaten herself to that weight and that immobility, and who has unregulated raging diabetes, that's who I should be taking food advice from. I mean, I guess she might know. I guess you could say maybe she knows what good food is, because that's how you get to that weight. But I'm sorry, no. And she's eating 2 of them in one sitting. I just want to point out the absurdity. I'm just pointing out the absurdity of this. This shit and whatever this crap is, I don't know what this is. It's probably something from TikTok that she watched and she thought was cute, and now she thinks she's connecting with the 12-year-olds on TikTok. I don't know. I don't watch enough TikTok to know. Y'all have to tell me that thing. Y'all have to keep me updated on what's on TikTok these days, because I don't watch it. Anyway, that's just the beginning. Onward.
Okay, real talk. I got like a whole potato and a bite in before I realized that.
A whole potato and a bite in.
Like, oh, I said I was going to talk about my personal life. I mean, all I did was talk about making the sweet potato because, quite honestly, I'm sleep deprived as hell, and I was just trying to stay on task and not get distracted.
Okay. So clearly, she wanted us to watch her eat more.
But yeah, man, I'm so excited.
I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. I probably shouldn't do that. That probably makes all kinds of weird noises. Did it fuck up my... No, okay, we were good. Yay!
Okay, real talk though, real talk. I'm actually really anxious to travel.
Are you? And this is why I really like that there's a close-up of her face over here, because you can really get into it.
Cause y'all wanna know the real you?
Uh-huh.
I haven't left my house in months.
I know.
The agoraphobia is bad, baby.
No, it's not.
So, you either joke about it or cry about it, right?
Sure.
And I might terrified to leave the house. Terrified.
Yeah, tell us why you're terrified to leave the house, Rosie.
I've been trying for a week to go hang out outside.
Uh-huh.
And like, the internet loves to like, the shitty part of the internet loves to make fun of me for that shit and pretend I'm like,
I guess I'm part of the shitty part of the internet. I have been declared the shitty part of the internet by Glitter and Lasers before, so I guess I am now being declared the shitty part of the internet by Rosalind. So, go.
and whatever.
Uh-huh.
It is what it is.
Okay.
But, yeah, man, I don't know. I'm really excited because I'm going to be traveling to Texas. And I'm shit-faced terrified about that, too.
I don't know if she meant to tell us that she was traveling. I meant to put these back on. I don't know if she meant to tell us that she was traveling to Texas, because we didn't know where Remy lived before this. So I don't know if this was an intentional slip or not, but I guess we now know where she's gonna go when she goes to visit Remy. So I don't know if she intentionally meant to narrow Remy's location down to one of the 50 states, but here we go.
Because for me, it's one of those things where it's like a risk versus reward kind of a thing.
The D is definitely worth the risk. She definitely gets hypnotized by the D. She loves her some D.
And I'm grateful that, like, when I really set my mind to something and, like, I have time to, like, prepare for it and shit, like, I can make it happen. In fact, like, my goal is, in the next week, I'm going to really seriously try to, like, start going back on, like, some walks again. I'm just getting out of the fucking house. And maybe
with that rollator that somebody bought you that you've used twice since it was purchased for you?
a couple weeks, like, go to an actual...
That person that you hate who bought you chocolates as a peace offering bought you racing stripes for that you never put on it? Or did you put them on there? I don't remember, but either way. That person that you hate bought you racing stripes for, and you were like, oh my god, that's the racing stripes that I wanted, thanks! Yeah, that guy.
Actual outing. But with the state of the world, I'm, like, really struggling to cope with that. Like, I feel safe here.
The state of the world? Yes, white woman, please explain to me how you're affected by the state of the world right now. Please explain to me how affected you are by the state of the United States, which of course is the world. Please explain to me how how the effect of one country in which you live, don't get me wrong, affects A, the entirety of the world, and B, affects you specifically. Because you are obviously the most oppressed and affected group within the United States in its current political and social unrest right now. Please go on.
And I don't feel safe out there.
Why? Other than just the normal, everyday bullshit you have to put up with being female in the United States. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's easy, but other than the normal bullshit, why don't you feel safe being out there? What has changed?
I don't know how any of y'all are functioning out there in the real world.
Well, I put my clothes on, I put on deodorant, I tend to wash my hair usually every other day, and then I go out to my car and turn it on and drive and go do my errands or go do my job or, do whatever else it is I need to do outside of the house. Because I'm not one of the groups that has to worry about it. Dumbass. I sure as fuck don't sit around my house going, oh my god, I'm so terrified to leave my house because... Vamp, I don't know, because my pasty white ass might get stopped for some reason. I'm sorry, I don't remember the last time I saw you go to a protest. As a matter of fact, since your agoraphobia is working overtime, I don't remember you ever going to a protest, so seems to me like you're pretty in the clear for having to interact with anybody who might potentially put you in danger. So, calling you on it. So what are you afraid of exactly?
Proud of you if you're doing that, because I fucking can't. I can't.
Thanks.
Chill out. Beyond that, the past couple months, I've really been, fostering some new friendships.
Really?
And, Remy, obviously.
Okay. Put a pin in that one. Fostering new friendships. Fostering new friendships, but she doesn't leave the house. So the only way she can be fostering said friendships is via the internet. All right. And Remy, if you don't know, you probably do if you're watching this video, but Remy, if you don't know, she met via email and communicates with solely through the internet. Mostly through a Discord that they have, a private Discord that they have set up for each other. So that's something to keep in mind for later, which she's going to rant about later. All right.
There's a big thing in that, but even a couple other people.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been just working.
Sure, Jan.
On being more consistent.
Pictures or it didn't happen.
With certain things in that regard, and allowing myself to trust people. Because if you don't follow me on YouTube, it's gonna be really hard to succinctly.
I'm not gonna come for you for that one.
Wow, Rosie, it was not that hard, baby girl. Anyway, point is, it's hard to succinctly explain, the mind fuckery that has happened with, the
mind fuckery. Sorry.
Consistent experiences I've had with buddy trolls online, on one hand, being constantly told that, I'm lying about believing I'm undiagnosed autistic and all these things, while at the same...
I wonder who she's coming for right there. Here's the reason why people constantly come at her, specifically for the undiagnosed autistic thing. Rosie has deleted from her channel, but I believe it's around in the archives. Rosie had a whole series of videos from her past where, to put it mildly, she totally pulled a Cartman trying out for the Special Olympics thing, where she was trying to get diagnosed autistic. And this was not that many years ago, really. So she dressed ridiculously colorfully. Not in a bad way. I mean, there's nothing wrong with dressing colorfully. It's just she dressed obnoxiously colorfully. She got herself an oversized pair of headphones that she just had to wear everywhere because she just got overstimulated no matter what she did. And she got herself this ginormous pair of sunglasses, and she just went out of her way to be the oddest oddball that oddballed. And then she went to no fewer than 2 different specialists to try and get diagnosed as an autistic. Now, an important detail here is that her brother Levi is diagnosed autistic and has been for most of his life. I believe he got diagnosed in his while he was a child. So Rosee knows what it looks like for a person to be diagnosed autistic and to grow up autistic, right? So she knows what this looks like. And yet, she still put on this performance of autism in an attempt to be diagnosed autistic. And both of the specialists that she went to, that she recorded, she documented this journey to get diagnosed autistic. Both of these specialists told her that she was not autistic. But she did get diagnosed as ADHD. Now, she does not, to my knowledge, do anything to mitigate the ADHD. She, to my knowledge, does not take any kind of medication. She does not do any kind of therapy. She doesn't use any kind of coping mechanisms for ADHD. So basically, she ignores the ADHD diagnosis unless it can help her scapegoat or get out of the responsibility of something. Occasionally, I will hear her use it as an excuse, is my point. But 90% of the time, she's desperately trying to convince the audience that she is undiagnosed autistic. Even though she has been, again, to no less than 2 specialists, both of which have told her, no, you're not autistic. Now, I suppose, yes, she could have gone to 2 specialists and both of them could be wrong, I suppose. And I suppose she just maybe needs to go to 13 more before one of them diagnoses her as autistic. But there's a name for that, and it's called doctor shopping. So I guess as long as she can continue to go to doctor after doctor after doctor until she gets the diagnosis that she wants, I guess she's still undiagnosed autistic. But again, Rosee has an adult in her life who has autism, who is on the spectrum. She knows what it looks like. Her brother is that person, right? And yet she still chose to perform autism in an attempt to get diagnosed autistic. This goes back to her most recent bullshit with her, oh, I put Minnesota down instead of Missouri. Wait, no, I put Missouri down instead of Minnesota because of my undiagnosed learning disability, which she meant dyslexia. Just say you fucked it up. It's okay. It's okay to make a mistake. You don't need to have an undiagnosed mystery disease because you fucked something up. It's okay. And you definitely don't need to go and try to blame something that you don't have so that people will leave you alone. They're not going to leave you alone. You still fucked up, okay? Having a diagnosis of something doesn't mean you didn't fuck up. And it won't mean that people won't leave you alone. It really doesn't, okay? It doesn't make people not bully you. It doesn't mean people not leave you alone. It doesn't change anything. It just means now you have a diagnosis. And now people are going to go, well, you know what the problem is. Why aren't you doing X, Y, Z? So it really just opens up a new bag of worms. It doesn't really change anything. So why the hell you're going out of your way to try to get these diagnoses for things, I don't know. As someone who does have dyslexia, who has lived with it their entire lives, let me tell you, people don't give a shit. But yet, much like her undiagnosed autism thing, she is bound and fucking determined that she is undiagnosed. Good luck. And that's what this comes down to. And she wants to use this as a goddamn shield. And so anytime going back to the undiagnosed autistic thing, anytime she makes a bad decision in life, or anytime, like with the buddy trolls, anytime one of the buddy trolls gets one over on her or something like that, it's, I've got a touch of the tism, and they fooled me. They fooled me because of my tisms. No, they didn't. Half the time, I honestly think people fool you because you want them to. But that gets dangerously close to doing things that I probably shouldn't do on the internet. But, like, God damn it, girl. How many red flags do you need? I'm just saying sometimes. Like, this whole thing with Remy, this is going to blow up in your face. And, like, God and everyone has gone, I sent you 2 helicopters and a boat. What do you want? Or 2 boats and a helicopter. What more did you need? I'm really worried about this one, okay? And yet she's going to go on here about how she gets all of these, like, buddy trolls on the internet. What the fuck is Remy? Anyway, now I'm ranting.
Time, people abusing my trust in general, like
Remy?
naive nature, I have to very actively combat.
Like Remy's doing?
To protect myself.
Like you're not doing with Remy?
To befriend me, just to get dirt on me, or
like Remy's probably doing?
Just to turn around and expose me.
Like Remy's probably doing?
Or, I don't know, be my best friend and for over a decade and do expose, well, not expose
Okay, and now she's just being shitty.
interviews, but interview and panel about me and say horrid shit. Like, the only reason that I was sad about being demonetized was because I couldn't binge eat anymore.
Okay, I don't know about that part, but the persons that she is talking about there, she had 2 people who were her friends for, I believe, around 15-ish years. I might be wrong about that number, but both of these individuals were her friends for a good chunk of time, 10 to 15 years. And both of them stopped being her friends around the same time because, and this was, I want to say about a year ago now, because Rosee's content at the time, yeah, that's the face, exactly. Rosee's content at the time, and still is, it was unage restricted. And Rosee really, really, really likes to make content where her boobs are basically, as you can see, basically hanging out of her clothing. She likes to go around without any kind of undergarments on so that you can see that she's got both headlights on. She likes to lay in ways that it basically looks like she's nude. So that like all the cleavage is hanging out. She has had on camera an actual nip slip. And she doesn't like to age restrict. And another thing that she really liked to do, and this isn't it because she's on Instagram, but she really liked to go on YouTube. She really likes to shoot in vertical. And in vertical, when you do that, when you go live in vertical, YouTube YouTube puts your live into a younger demographic algorithm so that the age spread for your demographics is younger, right? So you're actually getting into the younger than 18 crowd, right? Unless you age restrict, which Rosee doesn't do. But then Rosee also likes to talk about topics that are inappropriate, for under 18s, like her threesomes and the 10Ds that she just happened to fall on one time, or, you know, just in general topics about sex. You know, or she likes to talk about her bingo habits or her ED, or she likes to make her feeder content where she sits there and spills food on her tatas, or she likes to moan and groan over her food. And so on top of the rest of us saying, Rosee, this is inappropriate for people under 18, you need to age restrict your content. Her 2 friends were like, yeah, we don't like this. Could you age restrict your content? It really isn't appropriate for people under 18. And Rosee was like, no, not because she was like trying to do anything nefarious with people under 18. Rosee didn't want to lose the income, because if you age restrict, it makes your potential for income lower. Your AdSense goes down. Rosee didn't want to lose income or the potential for income by age restricting. So instead of not talking about topics that were inappropriate and, I don't know, putting a bra on so that her headlights weren't everywhere, she just decided to F it all, and it ticked off her friends. And so her friends were like, hey, we can't support your behavior. Sorry. And that pissed her off. And that's how the friendship ended. Because her behavior was inappropriate on the internet. Her friends were like, hey, we don't appreciate this. And Rosee was like, well, F you, I'm going to do what I want. And so her friends were like, yeah, no, we're not going to support that. So then, instead of just being like, well, difference of opinions, Rosee decided to go on a smear campaign against these two ex-friends of hers. And Rosee has, ever since, done everything in her power to bring up these two people anonymously, which is why I'm not bringing up their names. But she used to bring up their names, but she will go after them like this kind of way, because they know who they are. And she will go after them like this and just try to be like, well, they used to be my friends, but they were just using me. Sometimes she'll do like, they just wanted to use me for clout. They were just trying to use me to launch their own YouTube careers. Neither of them have reaction channels. One of them does have a YouTube channel, but it has absolutely nothing to do with Girl World. Not even remotely related to Girl World. You know, and it's this kind of shit that she pulls. And this is, again, part of her weird revisionism that she does, specifically to make herself look like a victim. And by not using people's names, on the one hand, it's nice because she doesn't out her victims. So, like, people who do believe her bullshit don't have someone to go after. But at the same time, it makes it hard for people to defend themselves. But it also makes it look like, oh, poor Rosee. Look at all of these people who just come out of the woodwork and attack her. It's kind of like the whole thing with the gift from the person that I just made a video about last night. You know, this person sends her a gift from her public Amazon wish list that Rosee is constantly reminding people about and asking them to buy her things from. And this person sends her a gift from it. Now, whether Rosee wants contact with this person or not, you know, that's between the two of them. Okay. But it's a public wish list that Rosee is always reminding people of and always asking for stuff off of and always updating. Right. And Rosee goes out and makes it sound like this person like tracked her down and sent her this, and that this person has been doing nothing but bugging them and hunting them down on the internet, and how dare they. That is not what is going on. And this person made them feel uncomfortable and random. And it's like, dude, you were flirting with them in chat. You were actively participating in this when they were in your good graces. And now all of a sudden they're like the most evil person that ever eviled because now you're mad at them? That's revisionism. And people were there. People who remember were there. We watched you do it. Okay? Like, regardless of how you feel about it today, back in the day that you're trying to change the story of, we were all there. Okay? So, but yeah, I think I'm losing track of where I'm at with this. Oh yeah, and her trying to demonize these two friends of hers. This is her just trying to rewrite history in a way to make herself look like poor pitiful me. Everybody's picking on me on the internet. And B, it's her way of performing character assassination against people that she doesn't like, so that they can't defend themselves, and so that they look like bad people in the eyes of people who don't know what's going on. This is how Rosee manipulates. This is how Rosee gaslights. This is how Rosee controls the story. This is why Rosee is like one of the A+ manipulators in Girl World, honestly. Because this is active. This is active. This is intentional. I almost believe that she actually rehearses this shit, like maybe even writes it down and rehearses this shit. It's not reflexive. Like, I feel like Amber's is almost like knee-jerk reflexive, and I even believe that even more now with the LCU shit. Hers, I almost believe she writes it down and rehearses it so that she can do this without blinking. Anyway. Okay. Back to this. How can you turn 15 minutes into 45? Watch me.
And so much other egregious shit. Like, I kind of lost my ability to trust anyone I met ever for any reason.
And yet you're still dating Remy, who you met via email online, and he's like, oh, I totally clicked with you after watching one of the podcasts that you were on, one of which is a bro red pill podcast, and the other one you did nothing but trauma dump for 2 hours. Okay?
And bro, that shit sucks. To be in a state where you feel like you're not allowed, to be in a state where you feel like you cannot trust anyone's good intentions, is heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. I don't know, man. Maybe you should like go out in the real world and make real friends. I don't know. Maybe you should learn to read red flags. Maybe you should just not trust people on the internet like the majority of the world.
It is heart-shattering.
Do you feel bad for me yet? I can't trust strangers on the internet. Does you feel bad for me yet? I'm even gonna kind of sort of fake cry. Because the people I want to believe are my friends aren't. These complete strangers that I've never met on the internet who do things to manipulate me, who don't fall for my manipulation. Girl, go touch grass.
I'm exiting that stage of my life, and I'm proud of myself because I did that. I put in the work for that.
I did that.
I've been going to therapy for that.
Have you? Because last time I checked, you were sleeping through all of your therapy appointments. Also, can you pull your shirt up so your boob doesn't fall out?
Healing that. I've been working on my relationships with friends.
What? Okay, cool. Last I checked, you were sleeping through your therapy appointments. So I don't know why you're humble bragging about your therapy. So there's that. If you've been changing because of therapy, I'm not seeing it.
I've been reconnecting with people who actually fuck with me. I've been reconnecting with people who actually F with me.
Are you using that term in a different way than it would normally be used? Like, to F with someone is to, like, mess with them, to screw with them, to do to prank them. But you seem to be using it in a way that's, like, positive? Because you've said this before in another video, in the last video I was in, and I was like, why would you want people who F with you in your chat? But now that you've said it again in this context, I'm beginning to believe that you think it's a positive thing.
Making new connections with people who don't just want to use me or control me.
How do you know? You're meeting these people online. How do you know? You've just got done sitting here bitching and moaning about how you can't trust people that you meet online. And yet, you're now telling me that all of these people that you're meeting online you can trust? How do you know?
Or see me as extensions of themselves in ways that are unhealthy and toxic and weird.
Okay, parasocial woman. Parasocial superhero. Can we talk about the weird way that you tried to connect with Zachary Michael and still try to connect with Zachary Michael? Like, you still reach out to Zachary Michael to, like, the day? Can we talk about the way that you tried to, like, insert yourself into Discords, other people's Discords, like 2 years ago, trying to buddy up to all of the reaction channels when you were trying to declare yourself queen of girl world? Can we talk about that? Can we talk about the parasocial relationships you tried to develop with reaction channels because you didn't want them reacting to you, because you tried to make yourself out to be like the anti-Amberlynn Reed? Even though you're 100% Amberlynn Reed 2.0. Can we talk about that? As far as like making yourself an unhealthy extension of people that is toxic and weird? Can we talk about how you're constantly trying to buddy up to Amberlynn Reed? Can we talk about how you inserted yourself into Amberlynn and Tommy's relationship more than once. Huh? Can we talk about all of that? Can we talk about the weird fucking voicemails that you just got done sending to Amberlynn? Because she brought you up onto the LCU? Which, by the way, you shouldn't even know about because you don't follow Girl World anymore and you 100% wasn't following the LCU? So how did you even know that happened? Like, anyway.
And I'm grateful for that. And so it's just been really nice to feel like myself again, because in 2025 I really,
because this really reminds me of the lectures that Amber would give us when she would like brush her hair or put on her makeup, and she would prop us up against the mirror and like lecture us, the audience, about how horrible we are and how awful we are and how she was not going to feed the trolls anymore. This 190% reminds me of how we would get Lecture-Lynn, and this is 140% Lecture-Lynn. That's what this is. All we needed is to be propped up against a mirror, and you need to be like putting on 19 layers of mascara and brushing your hair. That is the only thing that is different between this and Amber's Lecture-Lynn videos.
felt like such a muted version of myself. Like, I feel like I can be goofy and bubbly and fun and laughing and just more connected with myself and not
I feel like I'm being silenced on my own channel.
feel like I have to constantly justify every word that comes out of my goddamn mouth because everything I say gets twisted. And
because everything you say is weird. You say dumb shit. You say dumb shit and people have questions. You say weird things and people want clarification. Like, you say things that people wonder why you say them. And it's not shit like, oh, the moon doesn't exist. You say things like, AI's the devil, and then you have a fucking AI temporary tattoo on your arm. You say things like, I'm a trans ally, and then you defend Amber's anti-trans joke. Like, people have questions about shit that you do and say. They're not twisting things, they just want clarification. And then when you don't give any, they draw conclusions. Okay, we gotta back that one up a little bit. I had to yell at my cat because he was trying to break things, and then he broke it anyway, so good times.
say gets twisted, and I get weirdly fucking sexualized by these trolls because I used to make adult content.
I went into this yesterday because she brought this up then. This seems to be a new thing for her, is like insisting that she's being sexualized by the reaction channels. And I don't hear it happening, but to be fair, I only really follow like 3 reaction channels fairly regularly. And I pop in on another handful here and there. I've never heard anybody sexualizing her as I understand the definition of the term. Now, she may have a different definition for the term because she seems to have different definitions for terms, as most of the girls do. So she definitely runs on a different definition for words. Now, I have heard people say things like, you need to put your boobs up. That's not really sexualizing. That's just pointing out that she's almost indecent nearly all the time in her videos. I have heard people make the joke of like, she has, when she wears her chef's apron, one of her boobs tries to escape. I've heard people make jokes about that. I don't really feel like that's sexualizing, but I suppose maybe you could get near that, I guess. But even then, 90% of the time it's being pointed out that it wouldn't be happening if she was dressed appropriately. Nearly anytime I hear anything mentioned about her that gets even remotely close to that, is it being pointed out that she is inappropriately dressed and maybe should put something on that might cover up things that are not appropriate for young eyes. I don't hear people bring up her adult content very often unless she has brought it up herself first. The only time I've ever heard somebody just bring it up ambiently was Amber on the LCU. And that doesn't count because Amber's not a reaction channel. And Amber was doing it because Amber's Amber. So, yeah. I don't know what the hell she's talking about.
When I have been so far removed from that shit for so long.
Uh-huh.
And then it's so weird.
And you bring it up constantly, though. That's the other thing. You bring it up a lot. You bring it up, not like, oh my God, I did X at XYZ. What you constantly bring up is, I used to do this in the past. And she's like, I'm ashamed of what I did in the past. Cool. Why do you constantly bring it up? I used to do stuff in the past, okay? I don't want to talk about the stuff I used to do in the past. Then why are you bringing it up? You're the one who always brings it up. You don't typically bring up the gory details, but you're the one who always mentions that you did stuff in the past. You're the one who usually brings it up. Most of us don't talk about it because most of the reaction channels that react to you don't view that kind of content as anything shameful. Most of the reaction channels that react to you don't view Smek's work as anything bad. It's just something that people do. It's another type of job. They don't necessarily view it as being bad or like inherently morally like corrupt or anything like that, like you try to paint it as. Like, you clearly have a bad association with the things that you did in the past, which is your prerogative. That's your past. But the reaction channels that you're trying to demonize here don't have that connection. They don't view adult work as a bad thing. So they don't bring it up as a way of like demonizing you, because why would we? It would be like making fun of somebody for being a fireman. I mean, maybe not, because maybe not exactly the same, but like making fun of somebody for being a bank worker. Oh my God, you used to be a bank worker? Wow. I mean, why would I do that? It would make no fucking sense. I wouldn't make fun of somebody for being a stripper. I'm not going to make fun of you for doing what you did. I don't care. You're the one who's constantly bringing up that you used to do it. No one else I hear ever brings it up unless you bring it up. And even then, most of us are going, okay, yeah, you used to do that in the past. Yup. And so, like, I don't even understand this argument that you're trying to make. Like, the only person I've ever heard bring it up as like a bad thing, again, was Amber. And that's because Amber does think it's a bad thing because Amber doesn't like women. So where is this coming from? Anyway, so no, the reaction channels are not sexualizing you specifically because of what you used to do in the past. That is absolutely a complete straw man of an argument. Maybe they might be sexualizing you for something else, but it is definitely not because of what you used to do in the past. If it is, 100%. All right. If it is, Rosie, because I know you watch, I need you to clip an actual reaction channel saying or doing exactly that. I need to see it with my own eyes. I need to hear it with my own ears. I know you're tech savvy enough to clip something. Go ahead. You can probably, I haven't blocked you on Twitter. You can DM me. Go for it. Send it to me and I will take that back. Okay? If there's at least one fucking reaction channel, again, Amber doesn't count. The LCU doesn't count because they are not reaction channels. But if there's a reaction channel out there that is actually sexualizing you because of the work that you used to do back in the day, then I will take it back. Cam doesn't count either because Cam's a fucking weirdo and Cam doesn't count. But like, I cannot out of the major channels that react to you on a regular basis, think of one of them that sexualizes you specifically because of the adult work that you did back in the day. That is a non-argument. That is a straw argument. And it's, again, a way that Rosee is rewriting past, she's gaslighting, she's manipulating, and she's trying to control the narrative by creating this straw argument for the audience that doesn't know any better. Oh my God, this is getting so long. Sorry.
Because I talked about that in my last live, and then today I open up my YouTube and I see like that day before, I think before I even went live, someone, you know what screen for my post Valentine's Day Instagram stories, they titled that recap video as Quirky Love Rosee got fingered. Like, what the fuck?
And that is true. That does exist, and that I believe was, I think, Stepmom 420's title. Hang on real fast, I'll show you. No, I lied. That is HRH's channel. That was from 3 days ago. The Valentine's Day update. Quirky Love Rosee got fingered. IG stories update. That's not sexualizing you, though. And it's definitely not sexualizing you for the work you did back in the day. Like, it has literally nothing to do with the work you did back in the day. So, I mean, is it a Smex joke? Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But I don't follow the argument. Is it crass? Yes. Is it funny? Not to me. Not to me. But okay, one compilation channel. I won't even say it's a reaction channel. I don't watch HRH. This is literally the first video of theirs I think I've watched. I might go check out some more, but one, still not with the argument you were making. Anyway, back to the regular video. All right, I promise we can get through this.
And you tag me?
Yes.
The internet's fucking bizarre. And
the little cuts. The little cuts that don't quite make it are cracking me up.
I'm done trying to placate them, but I'm also...
You were placating us? Really? When?
Not going to let them silence me, and I'm also...
You're not going to be silenced on your own channel? Okay, Amber.
Not going to be forced to... I'm not going to feel like I'm being forced to just take shit on the channel and be silent all the time. I'm going to be silent about
You're not going to be silent on your own channel?
a lot of shit.
You're going to get it off your chest? Just say it with your whole chest?
I'm done talking about a lot of people. I'm done talking about a lot of different aspects of a lot of things and moving forward. But I'm still in that healing process, and it's a...
How long have you been healing now? How long have you been healing now? How long? I know healing takes a while. I'm just, what are we healing? I don't remember anymore. I don't remember what we're healing anymore. How long does healing take?
It's frustrating how slow it moves sometimes, but hey.
It is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Especially when you don't know what you're healing.
Hey, Levi, 1 second. My bro had frozen pizza he wanted to put in the oven for himself. Anywho, point is.
I'm impressed you let Levi into the kitchen. Usually you yell at Levi because you're doing something and you tell him to wait a minute and then you get angry and then you make faces and noises at the audience because Levi wanted into the kitchen. He couldn't even wait until I was done. Not exaggerating. That's on camera.
I'm going on this bit of this rant here. I miss talking about...
Don't worry, I rant too.
Instagram stories. I'm in a process right now where I'm just trying to reconnect with what I love about internet content creation because I really fucking lost my way. Like,
there was a way?
And there's no one to blame for that part but me. So I'm figuring that out. It's taking me time. And that's one of the reasons why I stopped. I removed my Patreon. I haven't really been on Twitch, even though it's my only monetized platform. And when I do go live, it's just been on YouTube because I'm just trying to figure out.
She got monetized on Twitch the first month she was on Twitch and then never made another video. So all of those people that subscribed to her on Twitch got nothing. Nada. She was just like, thanks for the money, and then nothing.
What the fuck I want? Because I lost that, the end of 2024 to 2025. I lost sight of that. But all I know is, I still want it. I just don't...
You still want money?
Don't want the current...
You still want people to give you money, go to your Amazon wish list, send you PayPal, send you Cash App, and the people that were doing that were the people on YouTube. That's what you want. As long as it's not so-and-so poo. You don't want that. You don't want peace offering chocolates. No peace offering chocolates. I'll take them. I'll take your peace offering chocolates. I'm like this tempted to open an Amazon wish list with just those chocolates on it and send it to that person just so they'll buy me chocolates. Like just buy me these chocolates. That's the only thing on the wish list. Just so I can have them and open them on camera and be like, oh, chocolates! That would be funny. That would almost be worth it.
Current form of it. I don't want where it ended up because of not only other people's actions, but my own. So, I'm just trying to like work all that out. You know what I mean? If any of y'all are still watching, let's do a real one because I think we might be at 20 minutes. I don't even know, fam. But
if any of y'all are still watching this one, y'all are real ones because like I don't know how I take 12 minutes and turn it into a fucking hour.
Really though, I'm a yapper. That's why like the lives kind of work because although sometimes it gets to the point where I run out of shit to say, but
Really?
Streaming in general is something I've been really reconsidering as a whole. Maybe not forever stopping it, like never doing it again, but really changing up how I structure the content because I'm fucking done giving people.
Dude, it would be so much easier to react to if you would just put out like videos. That would be so much easier to react to. So I'm 100% here for recorded content versus streamed content.
Access to me that didn't deserve it. And that unfortunately leaves me in a position where I feel like I have to safeguard myself from people that I would like to engage with more in real time, but
the people who give me money on lives.
My health, my wellness, my mental health, my relationships with people in my life are way more important.
If I had a super chat, if I had a $5 super chat for every time she said that, then I could buy groceries once a month without dipping into my own finances.
Way more important than that.
I wouldn't be rich, but I would definitely not have to dip into my own finances to buy groceries.
So I will, I guess, end this by thanking you for listening to me ramble, and to say that I'm really excited for my future. There is something coming out this year.
My future's so bright. I gotta wear shades. Sorry.
Pretty big.
Uh-huh.
And a lot has happened since I went to Vegas. And
that is true. By the way, her agoraphobia didn't keep her from going to Vegas or walking around Vegas or going out on her own by herself around Vegas at night and during the day. Flying to Vegas on her own, walking around Vegas by herself. Agoraphobia didn't stop her doing any of that. So, just, you know. This agoraphobia that she has is another reason why people call her out on the agoraphobia. The agoraphobia she has is very selective. It's a very selective agoraphobia. It seems to only affect her when she doesn't have anything interesting to do.
I'm real nervous about that because I really wanted, like when I got back from Vegas, I really wanted to do things differently, to be at a different point, like now in my life, and that didn't happen. And
when she came back from Vegas, she was like, oh my God, you guys, Vegas kicked my ass. I need to change my life. I need to like totally change the way that I live and I eat. And I'm going to improve my life. I'm going to start. This is where the rollator came in. I'm going to start exercising and walking again. I'm going to clean up my eating, and none of it happened. She got the rollator. She walked on it twice, maybe 3 times. Never again. And the rollator was purchased for her by one of her longtime viewers, whose name she didn't bother to remember, so she couldn't thank them by name.
I just have to hold grace for that for myself, but my life is my life. It's not a performance or a timeline to meet certain expectations of other people. It's what I need to do for myself, you know?
Sure.
But anywho, I have some food left to finish, but I just think that I think it's time.
I have food left to finish. Would you like to watch me cram it into my gullet?
I think it's time that I stop prioritizing other people's expectations over what I want for myself. And
when were we prioritizing other people's expectations? When was that happening?
I've been getting there, but I've got further to go for sure.
Okay.
God, I hope I stay awake. I'm tired, guys. Thank you for listening if you did. Bye.
Bye. Okay. Thank you guys for sticking with me. If you've made it this far in the video, go ahead and put a pomegranate down as your emoji. I'm going to try to cut this down, cut out some of my ranting. So I'm going to try to cut this down as much as humanly possible. If you don't follow Scar Letter or Snow Bear, definitely go give that a shot. And that's all I've got for you guys. So I think I've said everything I was going to say in the moment. So thank you to everybody who's been supporting this channel. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. You guys rock. Thank you to everybody who's going to hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget your emoji is a pomegranate. Let me know if the slime is too annoying to you guys and I will tone it down. But until then, I will see everybody in the next video. I don't think I have anything else to say, so that's all I got for you guys.
This
Bye!
is my outro music. You can't copyright strike me because it's just me singing. This is my outro music. Thank you for watching. See you next time.